Alrighty, hello, everybody. I am here. I don't know how long for, but I am here. ALP, they have Raw Torching different categories now, apparently. Or is that because of the event I started for this month? Because I was playing around with some shit in Twitch and I saw that you can do events and custom badges and stuff. Oh, dear. If it's to get a gold sword for an August adventure, that's me. If it's anything else, that's Twitch. Hey, how's it going? Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good day so far. I still feel like absolute crap. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what has come in and taken hold of me, but Jesus Christ. It says you can sub again even though you're already subbed. I mean, as the person who gets the money, I don't see the issue, honestly. I mean, what? Dear. But yes, hope everyone is doing well and is having a good whatever day we're on. When are we Wednesday? I think we're only Wednesday. Hopefully it's not Thursday because it was Thursday. I'm meant to be in a meeting right now. Dear. All right, so let's do a new. Let's make sure we're on the right screen. We're going to do a new note. We're going to try and name the 7 cities today.
5 subscriptions to the community.
Hey, thank you for the gifted subs. Very much appreciated.
Hype train started.
And for kicking off a hype train. Now you have 2 swords. You should only have 1, I believe, right? The golden one? Oh, unless you're talking about the mod sword as well, then yes. Dear. Don't expect my brain to be working well today. Come on. It's a day that ends in Y. Those aren't good for me. Someone really should invent a day that doesn't end in Y, and then maybe everything will be all right. I doubt it. All right, so first thing I need to try and do is remember, so we're gonna let's do bullet list. We're gonna, so the first one's gonna be named after me. Who are my mods? LP, Serenity, Rydog, and Aaron. Really hope I'm not missing a mod there. Dear. Fire McFlamey Town? I will take your suggestion for your town. Not saying I'm going to use it, but I will take your suggestion. Oh, dear. Now, I already know that the 5th town, because that's the one that gets destroyed, is going to be named after Nightbringer. If I can remember how to spell 5th. Or indeed the word town. So how many guys? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need 1 more. Dear. All right. So, seeing as LP is here, let's work on his town. What do we know of LP? Not a lot. He's grumpy sometimes. He does like the fire. Ah, dear. Squirrely Trivia City. Dear. What other incredibly superficial things do we know about LP? Dear. Hello. Hey, Owen, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. I hope you're doing well. Dear. And I hope you're having a good Wednesday so far. As for my town, we're going to go fairly vanilla with it. It's the Cakean Empire, so it's going to be called something like Cake Town. Because, you know, I'm full of imagination. We may work on that a little bit more. Also, they're meant to be cities, but I don't know. They got away with the city of Townsville, so I'm pretty sure I can get away with that. Why not name the town Brock? Look. So, the old man is going through the genealogy stage of old man Itis. We all get there, apparently. I'm not particularly looking forward to when I get to that stage, but it's fine. Apparently, we all get there. He's now convinced we're descended from the Brocks. He's not sure which one yet. Oh, dear. But yes. Mum did that once. She mysteriously stopped, guessing she found something she didn't like. Oh, dear. But only on one side of the family, because the other side of the family only came here during at that brief period of time between World War I and World War II, because they ran away from the army and hid here. Dave Brock, the third unsuccessful brother. It still annoys me in Wikipedia that the entry for Daniel Delisle Brock, I'm pretty sure, starts with brother of Isaac Brock. That apparently was his most famous accomplishment. Not possibly ruining the world by coming up with the modern idea of, I don't know, was he the modern idea of money guy? No, I think he was the one that said Guernsey could print its own currency. The modern idea of money guy, I think, was Delarue. Or was he just the guy who printed it? I honestly can't remember. But yes, he's now fairly convinced that the more Guernsey side of the family is somehow spawned from the Brocks. Now, I'd imagine in a place like Guernsey, eventually you just get to the fact that everyone is related to everybody else, because, you know, it would have been a very small community back then. But he led the junior football team and once wrote an IOU on paper. Oh, dear. That is definitely one way of stating its history, yes. Oh, dear. Oh, man. Huh? What are we saying? 2. There. I mean, yeah. I mean, right dog. We're gonna put the whiskey in. Again, we're going purely superficial here. Squirrel and trivia are very good for an Owen, honestly. Wikipedia has this now. Daniel was a nephew of William Brock. Oh, dear. He was an elder brother of Major General Sir Isaac Brock. Dear. Major General Mister, you missed the titles. We don't respect. Well, I mean, they would have been British Army titles at the time, but you know. Just because he freed Canada from the evil Americans. And was one of, until recently, one of the only few people who had demolished anything on the White House grounds. After such schooling as the island afforded in those days. Honestly, the education system back then, it's probably better than the one we've got now. But let's not get into that kind of thing. You know, Dave always had to be corrected. It's Sir Isaac and Sir Daniel. Oh, for sure, right? Dear. Honestly, I bet the dinners were interesting anyway. Like, oh my god, talk about it. Like, if you look through the Brock family history, they look like a family of people who just want to one up everybody else in the family. But only one of them did really anything for Guernsey, so all the others had to leave to get famous, which is probably the better way of doing it, honestly. Dear. A lot of it was Navy based. A lot of naval people, which I guess makes sense. We're on an island. An island has sea, and sea has boats. So Navy, but dear. Just a family meal, just people just correcting each other based on their titles. You could definitely do a comedy sketch around that, right? Just the titles getting more and more stupid as time goes on. There's an old TV comedy about the pioneering time in Canada. Colin Muckery played the British redcoat. He'd always be like, I didn't spend 8 years in the British Academy to be insulted by you, which the retort was, isn't that a 4-year program? That is such a classic joke. I love that. Oh, dear. They don't just write jokes like that anymore. There'd be a lot more cum references in it probably these days. Dear. Wow, I just sounded like a really, really old then. Hey, Axie, thank you for the 130 streak as well. It's very much appreciated. I feel like the streak alert is no longer working. Oh, I wonder if I don't have it on this scene. Because I wonder if it's in a slightly different scene. Because I'm very bad at remembering how I do anything. Dear. Can concur, no street music. Yeah, that must work in a slightly different way from most of my other alerts. Because why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it? It's all right. I'll get AI to redo all of my alerts at some point and it'll be fine. Ugh. And I'm sure in no way AI using all the water is in any way contributing to the fact that nobody's got any water at the moment. You know, don't get me wrong, the weather is having an impact. It's been incredibly dry this year, but I'm also going to assume that it can't be helping. Also, do you think old Muskie Waskie will take the fact that he crashed a part of his spaceship onto the moon as he successfully made it to the moon? Tick that box. Pay me my salary. Depending on the terms of the contract. Maybe, right? If all he said he was going to get a ship to the moon, part of one of his ships has now crashed into the moon. Technically, Teslas do self-drive. They just keep on self-driving into walls and other cars. Never said, what was the deal? Dear. I can't remember what else he needed to do to get the big payout from Tesla after his first one was struck down. But yeah, I think he hit the Xbox by selling it to himself. Tick. It's not dodgy at all. You like the spin of scientists will now get to study a fresh impact site? Yeah, I like that as well. If you can find it, the series is Blackfly. A reviewer called it, the humor is broad, often childish, and sometimes it's groan-inducing and flat. Oh, I would have to try and look for that. Which is true. I think what I like, though, is like they were saying, oh, scientists will be able to impact a fresh crash site and all this kind of stuff. But then no one was 100% sure if it had actually crashed into the moon yet. So was it really that difficult to track? Do we have to start the conspiracy theory already? That in fact, no. He didn't crash a rocket into the moon. Or alternatively, a rocket did crash into the moon, but it was full of AI nanobots, and they're going to build the robot control center on the moon for when they decide to destroy the human race, which is probably what actually happened. But luckily, there'll be SpaceX/Tesla nanobots, so they won't actually work. So I think we're fine. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. If it was Chinese nanobots, we'd be in trouble. Although all they'd probably do is make cheap stuff out of plastic and just drown us in it. But anyway, whatever works, I guess. Was it the car so he could get rid? Oh, there was definitely a body in that car he shot into space. Like 100%. 100%. I don't know who he got rid of, but somebody was in there. It's hitting on the backside, a slap across the ass. Decepticon base. Wait, no, on the backside, that's where the Nazis are. Hopefully they don't hit their base. Wait, do I want the Nazi base on the moon to stay operational? Probably not. I'm not really into their politics. So maybe it's good they took out that base? I don't know. Elon's interview shows he's completely out of touch and surrounded by yes people. Elon cannot believe that the world hates him. You watch the latest series of Stargate, nanobots on the moon are bad news. Oh, dear. I think the nanobot storyline got lost to me when they found the girl who could control them. Sorry, woman. Who could control them, and it all got very weird and stupid. Oh yeah, I mean it's why I'm honestly hoping I know this isn't about Musk, but you know, if we're talking about another person surrounded by yes men who has no idea what's going on, your mind's gonna jump to old Trumpy Wumpy, right? I really hope that the midterms or whatever it is you have in November show what the polls are showing. Because if they don't, man's going to be insufferable. But I had Daniel, and he was strangely trying to sex the robot lady up. Well, I mean, obviously. Tech people are particularly out of touch. Most are good at technology and fundamentally terrible at people. The first few series of Daniel having sex with all the locals and going... It was always a shame when old Michael Shanks left and then came back and they kind of got rid of that good alien guy. Because I think he was slightly better than have sex with everything. I wanted to call him Daniel O'Neill, but I've mixed two characters up there into one. Oh dear. But it's all right. Michael Shanks is now doing a Stargate podcast, so I'm sure that will be tons of fun. I mean, I'm a fan of Stargate, but I doubt I will listen to the Stargate podcast. I honestly find celebrity podcasts quite difficult to listen to. No, the guy alien they brought in as a direct replacement for one season, where Michael Shanks was like, "Oh, I'm bigger than Stargate. I'm going to go and get all of the jobs. Don't worry, I'm the best actor ever." Didn't get any work, and then had to slink back in because he needed the paycheck, which is what happened. Oh dear. So your state had 4 constitutional amendments for a vote yesterday. One that would change how citizen-driven amendments would be passed. Failed worse than 1 to 4. Dear. But yeah, Samantha Black was there from Farscape, right? And was a kind of longer-running, not quite love interest for Daniel. What is it? I've only got Daniel O'Neill in my mind now. I can't actually think of his name. Daniel Jackson. There it is. Then they robbed the Farscape cast. Was Farscape the one that... No, it wasn't Farscape. It was Stargate Atlantis that had... guy whose name I can't remember right now in it. Well, that was a clear and interesting and fun anecdote. That thing had that guy in it from that other thing. You remember the guy. Yes, that is the guy I'm thinking of, yeah. Jason Momoa, is that his name? Who I'd completely forgotten was in Stargate Atlantis. Until I watched a few episodes of it again, and I was like, no. I can do a rewatch of SG-1. I didn't really get into Atlantis when it was on, and yeah. Dear. But yes, I'd completely forgotten. Farscape was such a cheap series, but honestly, I think it benefited from that. Because when you can't rely on like whiz-bang special effects, you have to get fairly decent stories and fairly decent cast. And I think they did quite well in Farscape with what they had. Money normally does not up to a certain point, money will up a production, but a lot of times it's just, you're just polishing a turd. Which, depending on who you talk to, is what they've done with The Odyssey. It's either it's the best film you'll ever spend 3 hours watching, or it's the worst film you ever spend 3 hours watching. Although I do honestly believe most people who are giving their opinions on The Odyssey haven't watched it. I haven't, so I'm not giving my opinion on it. Because I'm not sitting and getting to shitty cinema for 3 hours. Sorry, can't do it. It's too uncomfortable. It's too expensive for what it is. If we had a decent cinema, I probably would go and watch it, but we don't. You enjoy watching Archer's comment on the bad archery in The Odyssey? Oh dear. I'm not a huge Christopher Nolan fan. Like, I don't think he's the second coming. And honestly, if Jesus Christ was to come back, him wasting in time on making movies would make me even more not religious. But like, there are a lot of people who, Christopher Nolan can do no wrong. Don't get me wrong, he's a fairly competent director. I just find most of his films are not as good as people say they are, or at least I just don't enjoy them as much. So I never go into. I mean, I've never really got into it. I mean, I guess Tarantino is the only director I follow and kind of know what to expect from his films. Reportedly, one actor broke multiple bows because he muscled it through as opposed to drawing it properly. Your city had 3 IMAX cameras. 2 of them were in a provincial facilities. Both were closed. One was demolished to build a spa. The second is trying to be demolished to build an office tower. Is very unpopular with taking public lands and selling it to his construction friends. I mean, that's modern politics, right? Look, just because the Saudis put a lot of money into the terrible, not Bitcoin, but whatever they're called, cryptocurrency company that Trump's sons run, and then suddenly they're going to be allowed to make nuclear reactors. I don't know why you're seeing a link between the two things. I don't know why. Not related. Yeah, I mean, like, there are directors where you know what you're going to go in for, but like, I mean, again, I do not like all of Dennis. I can never pronounce his second name. I don't like all of his films. I think he's a good director. Don't get me wrong, but you know, some of his films I think are just a little bit too boring and too slow. With some of them, like the Dune series, I think he's done incredibly well so far, and I'm hoping he can kind of keep that pace up with the third one. And like, you know, Christopher Nolan has done some fantastic films. He's also done some that I would call incredibly boring and up themselves. The obvious ones to go after are the Batman films. I honestly think that, like, the first Batman Begins is fine. I don't think it's really lasted the test of time. I don't think it's a film that will like enter the cinematic zeitgeist. The second one, which I can't remember now, I think is a much better film, and it's just a good film in general. Heath Ledger is a lot of that. As the Joker, I think he was a fantastic Joker. And then the third one with Bane, who you can't really understand, is just incredibly boring and all over the place. Nolan doesn't really choreograph or film fighting that well, which gives you pause for the Odyssey. Hey, have a good one, Axine. Thank you for stopping by. It's very much appreciated. I hope your day goes well. I am like, because there's been a lot of talk of the Odyssey about the practical effects they've done. Like they've done a lot of Lord of the Rings-esque big people, small people kind of camera tricks, and I'm intrigued to see how that actually turns out and how that looks. The Batman series fights are all dark blues with punching sound effects. Yeah, but that's kind of just action films in general, right? I mean, but Oh Brother, Where Art Thou is a high bar to meet for Odyssey adaptations. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou is a very good film, yes. I'm trying to think. What is the film? I think this is a Nolan film. It may not be. But Inception. It's Inception, right? Fantastic soundtrack for Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Like, just, yeah. I've never understood why people like, let alone love, the movie Inception. I don't get it. All style, no substance. There, I said it. Whereas most of the stuff I do is quite a bit of substance, but absolutely no style, because I don't know how to do style. It's a technical marvel, yeah, but that doesn't make a good film, right? Like that's my problem, right? It's like with people with the Odyssey saying it's only good if you watch it in an IMAX cinema, right? It's like, well, then the film isn't actually good, then, is it? it may be a spectacle. It may be like fun to watch and fun to dissect at the technical level. But a film at its heart has got to be entertaining. And if you haven't got that, you've not got yourself a good movie. Oh, dear. This bar building is supposed to be beautiful and sprawling. You still hate it. And yeah, I never understood. Yeah, like I said, I never understood the love for Inception. But you know, but yeah, I guess it comes down to what you want, right? From a director. Like, do you just want a fun film? That's normally what I want. I'm probably biased because I prefer a story over anything else. So as long as the story is good, I can kind of forgive a lot of sins. But if the story isn't there, I kind of don't really see the point. In the rest of it, right? Also, I really hope at some point just cheap B movies make a comeback because they need to. The industry needs it. But when your B movies are multi-million-dollar endeavors now, it's not right. It's not right. It's like GTA 6 costing like over $1 trillion to make. Just it's not right. I don't care what game or film you're making. It should not cost $1 trillion to make it. There. But yes. Like I say, I will see the Odyssey at some point. I'm assuming like, it would be one of those films I probably only ever watch once. How was that film with Russell Crowe where he played a gladiator? I have a feeling now that I've said it out loud, it may have just been called Gladiator. It was an okay film. Watched it once, enjoyed it. We'll never watch it again. Same with Saving Private Ryan. Saving Private Ryan is probably more of a rewatchable film, but I saw it once. It was good. I liked it. We'll never watch it again. Russell Crowe plays a gladiator. It is called Gladiator. But yeah, again, I just like simple story. I think a friend of mine has been trying to get me into more modern anime stuff. And I've watched a couple of things that they've recommended. But the one they were like, oh, you got to watch it. It's great. Best thing since sliced bread. You'll love it. Is called Free Run, something like that. And the concept, the idea is a fairly interesting one. Of like an elf. I'd say old elf, but obviously it's in an anime, so the elf can't look old. They still have to be goon bait. But yeah, like the idea of an elf kind of outliving the heroes they went on an adventure with, and then kind of going through like a kind of semi-memorial road trip type thing is kind of interesting. Much like The Rookie, it's an idea they drop after 2 episodes. And then what I've noticed, and I was saying that I don't understand how the generations that apparently have no, which I clearly don't have, concentration, attention span is the word I was actually looking for. I don't know how they stick with a lot of these modern animes because, and I say this with love, nothing happens in most of the episodes. Literally nothing. In fact, what normally happens in most of the episodes is they will set up a fight at the end of one episode which they will get through that fight in about 5 minutes. In the next episode, then there'll be a lot more nothing, and then maybe they'll set up an interesting hook for the next episode. Maybe. Watch the first season. Can't see me going back for the second, honestly. Like, it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, don't get me wrong. But there seems to be a lot of time wasting in these kind of things. And I guess being brought up on British TV, we're not used to this much time wasting. Look, you got 6 episodes to tell your story. I don't care how long the story is. You got 6 episodes and you make it fucking work. All right, we can do that. So Sony owns the majority anime. Sony owns the biggest manga publishers, and Crunchyroll, they're basically locking down Japan's #1 export. Fiorina is particularly slow because she feels everything slowly. Yeah, and I wouldn't even mind the slowness because honestly, at times, one episode doesn't even seem to feel like it flows into the next, right? It feels to me very much like somebody playing through a homebrew D&D campaign, right? Which is fine. I got nothing wrong with that. And like the kind of like aside swings, the side quests just feel very side questy and just kind of, yeah, we're filling time here. We had to get 20 episodes out. We only had enough story for 5, so we'll do a side quest. So part of it's only just throwing shit against the wall to feed Crunchyroll. But yeah, like I love the original conceit, like the original idea. Like, yeah, like, you know, I mean, I've always loved the idea of immortals outliving like their time, if that makes sense. I think it's you know, a wonderful emotional string to kind of pull on. Is, you know, how do Necromancer's Journey towards the end pulls on that same kind of thread. But yeah, it does definitely feel like it's, yeah. Like, we got to fill time. We got to fill time. It's not like, not so much. And just some of the things they decide to animate, right? Because even within a single episode, it feels like they're stretching time. Like, you know, there'll be a 500-hour segment. Okay, it's probably about 2 seconds of just their feet walking on a road, right? And it's like, okay, well, that's clearly you just padding time. And it doesn't even look like it's the old American cartoon way of padding time where you just reuse stuff you've already done. It looks like they drew that just for that particular padding time section. So you can't even put it down to money saving. And then what was the other one they suggested to me? It was on Prime. It's the only reason I watched it. It's because it was on Prime. Something like Old Country Bumpkin is actually a swordmaster or something like that. Again, and maybe it's just like it's just a difference in the way Japanese storytelling happens compared to like Western storytelling. Although I guess you can argue Lord of the Rings suffers from the same kind of thing, right? It's Lord of the Rings just keeps on throwing new characters at you. But yeah, the thing with the and again, I kind of enjoyed it. I thought the fighting was a little bit better in this one, like the fighting sequences. But yeah, it feels so slow. There's a lot of sitting down and talking. A lot of it might also be because I never used to do this with anime. I used to do the subs rather than the dubs, but I've been watching the dubbed ones, and maybe a lot of the talking is just lost by what they're putting in to the dub to fit the mouth movements, right? I know that used to be a big problem, which is why when I used to watch anime, I would do the sub versions, but the dubbing is better now because of the mass appeal. But yeah, like I said, both of those I watched the first seasons. They were fine, you know. Like I've definitely watched worse. I've definitely watched better, but I definitely watched worse. Can't see me going back for the second season of them. And apparently the second season of Grumpy Old Man or whatever it is, Country Bumpkin, is a lot worse so far. Is what my friend has told me. I think they're like 4 or 5 episodes in, and they're just like, I don't understand what they're doing now. They seem to be telling a completely different story from the one they started. Apparently Ace Attorney series in English is hilarious because they had the cast together. Do you know, I honestly don't know in animated stuff or voiceover stuff why they don't do that more often. The Rookie is no longer about a rookie. I mean, it hasn't been since the end of the first season. And I would argue that within about 3 episodes, it had gone from being about a rookie to just being a normal police procedural. And I have a feeling Nathan Fillion may not even be in it anymore, but I don't know how true that is. I didn't get so I think he became a detective. I never got that far in the show myself, but yeah, I think in the last couple of seasons he was a detective somehow. Normal police procedural doesn't quite flow. But yeah. Again, I feel like The Rookie would have been much better done in the British TV way. 6 episodes, purely about them being an old cop, trying to get into it. End it after 1 season, done. It was a good story. Another thing I feel like the modern TV industry kind of needs to know is it's okay to just commission a show that's only got 1 season's worth of story. And even if it does well, just leave it the fuck alone. Looking at you, Stranger Things. I mean, okay, Lost was worse for clearly stretching a story that they had no idea what they were doing. But anyway, normal police procedural will rock you a regular amount with a cliffhanger that is mildly interesting. Oh, dear. Yeah. And I like a police procedural, right? I'm a fan of them. It's it's a very easy and lazy watch, so why not? Dear. But yeah, very Now, I will say, holding stories to such a high standard as I do, and it's not a particularly high standard, is one of the reasons why a lot of my stuff never gets published, because I just read it back and I'm like, no, this is shit. I don't like this at all. Which is why maybe if I stream myself working on it, maybe more will get out there. Can I do animals for everybody into the towns? We'll do cat for Serenity, and hopefully that's still fine. What animal would LP be? I feel like we need an animal that's grumpy, a little bit cheeky. What else would we need? Eli Roth said he used AI for his film Ice Cream Man, and it shows the film is being reviewed terribly. I think, again, though, I'm hoping it's being reviewed terribly because it's terrible, right? I hope it's not being reviewed terribly just because he said he's used AI for it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of AI. I don't want to see AI to creep any more into the film industry. I mean, it will. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. But I hope it doesn't. Is that what you're working on at the moment that you put into the chat? Yes, it's a bad film. Then he says he used AI. Gotcha. Oh, is he going to try and say he made a bad film using AI on purpose for some kind of social message? A grumpy, cheeky animal is a badger. And cheers for the lurk on Owen. Oh, some kind of fire badger. That'd be interesting, actually. Oh, dear. You see how it is. How's it going, Trunks? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good week so far. You turn up and no one leaves. Oh, dear. Sorry, chat. I'm still not feeling particularly great, and I'm very gassy. Which I know you really were desperate to know, so I thought I would just share. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. I successfully ignored it so far. I'll be honest, I wasn't sure if it was just some kind of bot who comes in to writing a reading, because I haven't done many of these. And we're just pasting stuff, or it was actually somebody, so I didn't want to engage until... Oh, dear. Until then. You can never be sure. You need a bot that writes like that? In your life? I don't know. Are you like, do you write yourself, or? You do? Nice. I see, personally, I wouldn't want a bot to write for me, right? Even if, I mean, there are already AI bots that can write better than I do. I've seen it. There are a lot that don't, but there are definitely some that do. Just a passion project. I honestly feel with writing, that's the best way for it to be. And then maybe one day you hit like a lottery jackpot, right? And you can start do it differently. But yeah, I think it's like most things, right? Like anything creative, really. I think if you get into it purely chasing money or fame or clout or whatever it is people chase these days, influencer points, it's just not going to go well, right? Whereas if you're doing it because you want to do it, great. It's like streaming as well, in a way, right? Like, I enjoy streaming, so I do it. I feel like if I just concentrated on the numbers and all that kind of stuff, I would have given up a long, long time ago. What the other those? What, passion projects? Dear. Oh, I think you'd be amazed. That is what a lot of people do when they decide. Like a lot of people come into these things. Maybe they've been working just a soul crushing job or whatever it is, point in their life. But a lot of people will say, books are so easy. I read books. They're easy to read. They must be easy to write. I'm going to write a book and I'll make money and I'll be the next J.K. Rowling, but without some of the divisive opinions, right? So they sit down and they try to write. You realize that writing is actually incredibly hard. It's very easy to start a book. I often find it's very easy to end a book. In my normal writing process, it's incredibly difficult to join the beginning to the end in a way that makes any sense whatsoever. That's normally where I start to fall down. But no, I think there are a lot of people who get into these things thinking it's going to be easy to do. I really do. Game development is another one. You have no passion. Your problem is too much padding. But again, I think this goes back to the conversation I was having about anime, because my friend has been trying to get me back into anime. And, you know, I'm watching it, and there is a lot of padding in those stories, right? A lot of padding. And I don't know, I tend to try and write, I don't want to say simply because I don't think that's fair, but I do try to write very close to the bone most of the time. Might be just that one thing that separates the bland writer from the rest. You don't know what Harry Potter said and you don't want to get into it. Oh, dear. You know, people hate her for whatever she said. I mean, yeah, they do. And I don't agree with what she said. Mostly. I can't say that I 100% disagree because that would not be true. But I mostly do not agree with what she said. I think if you can put one of the tricks I feel of being a interesting writer is being able to look at things from everybody's point of view, right? And if you can write a book about a divisive topic that isn't just a lecture or a sermon confirming one way or the other, then I think you have a very good story on your hands, right? It is incredibly difficult to do, even more so in this day and age than I think ever before, to be able to hold two sides of an argument and bounce them off each other, because that's just kind of not the way the modern world works, which is a real shame. You're either all in or you're all out. You can't just be. It's like the hokey cokey, but not as fun. The idea of Hatsa being outspoken, whatever she thinks is a trait ingrained and comes with the package, being honest, good writer. Not a lecture sermon. Wow, that was a good line. You don't think anyone can deny her talent? I mean, she wrote some very compelling books. I'm not a huge fan of the Harry Potter series. I think now I'm going to get the order of the books wrong here. I very much enjoyed the first one, which has got two different names depending on where you are. Philosopher's Stone, because I'm from the UK. I thought was a very good start to the Harry Potter universe. Right? It was interesting. It was compelling. The characters themselves were mildly interesting, and it flowed quite well. And I think you can tell she spent a lot of time on that book, right? Which you often do on your first one, right? It's a lot of writing, rewriting, polishing, all that kind of stuff. The second one, I think, was the Chamber of Secrets, which didn't do a lot for me. Just felt like a continuation, which, you know, again, is fine. That's what the series is all about. Then the third one, I think, was Prisoner of Azkaban, which I can't remember the book that well. It was the best movie they did. Even if I think it then does make the rest of the series pale in comparison. And then, what are we up to? Like Goblet of Fire after Prisoner? Or is it Order of the Phoenix? I can't remember which way they go. Or honestly, which one is which? I think Goblet of Fire is the one where they start to compete against other schools, right? And I quite enjoyed that book just because it was a little bit little bit fresh, a little bit of a new idea. Um, bu- 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 um, Order of the Phoenix, I think, is where they start to become Dumbledore's army. Maybe I can't really remember. And then there's the Half Blood Prince in there somewhere. Also, what kind of reasonable parent sends their kid to a school that gets embroiled in a war? Come on, come on, come on now. I know they're in the magical world and they don't have to abide by the Department of Education, but maybe there should have been a little bit of oversight at Hogwarts. That's all I'm saying. But no, I feel like most book series, when they go on for too long, the Harry Potter series, I mean, you're not going to write a banger every time, right? You're not going to hit it out of the park every time in a series like that. But I feel Harry Potter suffered very deeply over time. Not as much as some other series, which I won't bring up right now, but if by lagging you mean like the audio and video of the camera are out of sync, that could be me, because it does seem to change every day and I don't know why. You got one joke about Harry Potter. I mean, the best thing about Harry Potter, and this is so true for so many books, is when you get down to it, normally the protagonist is the most useless person in the whole fucking story. And that is definitely true in Harry Potter. Do I want to hear something you found amusing? Sure, Trunks. You still think release from slavery should have been determined with something less prone to accidental occurrence? Something along the lines of Master gave Dobby an enema. Dobby is free elf now. Also, I'll also say, in terms of Harry Potter, I could have done without all of the Quidditch. But I guess that's the one thing where Harry Potter is useful in his own right and not just there for Hermione to do something. I mean, what? That's not how it goes at all. You went to do a lift inspection. You had like 4 seconds of rain. The pit in this lift was flooded. Was it a lot of rain or a very small pit? Because yeah, we had a like a brief but heavy downpour. I think it was yesterday. Which was good, don't get me wrong. Like, it's been a very dry summer so far. Oh yeah, the pit could have been flooded from ages ago. That's true as well. Pit was normal size, had about 2 centimeters of water in it. I don't mind, and I suppose we've got to try and think about night as well. What kind of animal is night? I'm going to say horse, just because in our short-lived Murder, She Wrote series, I often made him a horse. You should make a drain for that, like right now. What else do we know about night? I don't know if I've ever actually written the word lactation out before. But it's like so down, you got nowhere to drain it. It's below anything, all the street drains, etc. He likes farts, does he? I also don't know what kind of animal I would be, honestly, but I guess I can think about that one on my own. I don't mind every city being named after an animal. I think that can kind of work. I'm going to do that. I don't know. Giant bear person with glasses asking what kind of animal I would be. Oh, dear. And I think naming each of the cities after, I'm going to name them after the mods, and Night. Now, one of my things that I worked on, the mods did kind of equal the Pantheon of the Gods. Do I want to bring that back into this one? And then can I tie that tied into a game mechanic? We'd have to think more about what the game mechanics are going to be and how that's all going to look. What that's all going to look like in the end. Which I think in very broad strokes, I kind of understand. But yeah, when we try and get down into the actual specifics of it, that's going to be a lot harder to nail down, I feel. But yeah, having them be gods or some kind of protectors of the cities, I think makes sense. And then why the 7 great cities existed also makes sense. We need a lot of cities, so the Great Beyond Railway System makes sense. Everything kind of has to have some kind of logical reason for existing. Even if I don't always, well, we're not always going to give the answers away straight away, right? But we kind of want the answers to be there to be discovered, which means we need to know the answers, and we can then start the mysteries. Because there will be mysteries to uncover. Having some kind of blessing mechanic could kind of work. As kind of like a one-time thing. Again, I'm kind of thinking of things you would see in like Slay the Spire. They did have, and I even going to something like Diablo or something, they do have the kind of pylons that just give you like a short little boost for one little section. And having like altars be an event you can get, I think does make a little bit of sense. Right, so which events do we already know about? We know there's going to be dungeons. Puzzles. Shops. Altars. I call them just choices for now, but we need to come up with a better title for those. And then just because we already know that Engine 1 is going to be the first kind of dungeon. I'm going to put boss fights in as well. Oh, and just combat. Makes sense. New folder. You know, there's going to have to be resources. All right, so if we need resources, we're going to want to come back as to what it is they're going to be attached to. So we've got the locomotive, the track, and then I guess character resources, which I don't know if there's going to be any, but we'll put them there. So the locomotive is going to need... We'll put fuel for now, but I'm already going to add a note. This is what we use for the... does this make sense of how time works? Default is always 20 turns. Alright, so to build the track, we're probably going to need like wood and steel. Nope, hang on, I broke everything. Or at least some kind of metal. And then... No, that's not how you do it. You do that. Tier 2, you need a lot of government money, and then a huge lot of expenditure to get absolutely no railway system in place. I don't know, this is we're going to do some kind of like hyper wood, hyper metal. We'll probably loop back around to those to try and give them better names. Let's see, like tier 1 is 10 of each for a hex of track, and I guess we can just do the same for this. We may need to go knock those in one more. Unless we get you over 1 hex per turn. Let's see, this does 5, or up to. Let's do up to so you can decide. Yes, the only character resources H, maybe some kind of mana system. Although I don't think there probably will be an energy system based on how items work. I don't know yet, actually. I don't know that at all. Right, anyway, after that little diversion, back to the Seven Cities. So it suggested I might be a bear. Can't do slashes. Definitely want to have fire in the title for LP's town. Let's do a little bit of doesn't help as much as I thought it would. Tierra del Fuego is the one that I was thinking of. Oh, dear. Let's do... Again, I kind of want these to be fairly simple and fairly generic. City of Flame was probably too generic, but that's okay. We could also go very Bond villain-esque and say it's kind of like a city built on an active volcano for some reason. There would have to be a reason for it to be on a volcano. I guess if the god / mascot who lives there... Oh, that's interesting. Do the gods actually exist on the reality plane? No, because that goes against the whole idea of the Avatar Gate. But that's okay. But it's not okay. We're not going to do that. We're just not going to do that idea. We're not going to follow that one through. Do. Mount Doom, Mount Fire. These all sound way too... All right, so we can have, what, fire, flame. What else is a good word for fire? Synonym. Ooh, Inferno. That's a good word. We go down the heat route if we want. I think I want to try and get Inferno in there somehow. What is Inferno? In other languages. Did they ever do the Gurney? Oh God, I cannot remember how you spell Gurneyese. At some point, they were definitely talking about doing an online dictionary. Doesn't look like they ever did it. And I don't want to pay for the incredibly expensive paper dictionary of it. Do. Alright. Not entirely sure. Alright, so I think we'll make wherever the city we name our treasury is going to be the City of Knowledge. Because every good fantasy setting has to have some kind of grand library somewhere. That's just the way it goes. Maybe something about Scholar. I feel like I need to go back to one of my. Oh, I think I may have already done this somewhere else, and I kind of need to go back through my old notes. Because the Ride Dog City kind of being the. I also need to think of what it is we would be importing, exporting from each of the cities for it to make sense that. They would have even bothered to connect them through the Great Beyond Railway network. So Ride Dog's kind of being where all the kind of like brewery for drinks kind of stuff is made. And Owen with his squirrel and quizziness, I think will be kind of be the farmland area. I know they're all cities, but that doesn't make. We're going to make some kind of for an Owen city. I've now got the idea of it is again kind of like a great big greenhouse built up in the trees. And I'm very tempted to just call the 7th city just they couldn't really be bothered. Has no god attached to it. They just wanted a city just for a city. Having it be something like one more is interesting. We could just call it City 7, but that's a lot like 7th City. The last one. Yeah, so again, trying to come up with. So if I feel like if LP is going to be the town of fire or flame, possibly on an active volcano, one of the reasons in fantasy you use a volcano is for the magma, as for your forges. So maybe we make this the industrial town. Don't know where you lost your doohickey. There you go. So yeah, they're kind of like, again, I don't know why I'm falling into these classic fantasy traps / tropes, but fuck it, we'll do it. Serenity's kind of being where you kind of got all your universities and your academics and that kind of stuff. I think makes sense. All right, so I feel like knights would then be like the Sodom and or Gomorrah of our tale, right? The kind of like the fun zone. Like I'm imagining it being some kind of city that's just a massive circus tent. Yeah, like the vacation zone. So again, it's kind of, you would connect it to move people rather than necessarily goods and or services, which makes sense. Still haven't really come up with a name for any of these places, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Are we getting there? Probably not. We're circling something. It's not a good name, but I have a feeling that's one that's going to stick.
For the Emperor!
Hey, LP on YouTube, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Not done yet? No, not done yet. Still just thinking things through. We're getting there though. We're getting there though. Probably putting in a lot of effort for places we'll never get to visit in this game, but it's fine. The cat will just end in ton or T. In Fernton. There. The cities really are there just for backstory in terms of what we're trying to develop right now. So I really don't need to be putting as much effort into them as I am right now. But yeah, it's a reason for the Great Beyond railway system to exist, right? It is connecting, or was designed and built to connect to the 7 great cities of the Empire, which does give you 7 gates that need to exist within the Great Beyond, even if most of them have been destroyed. I think being able to play around with the idea of just because the gate was taken down on this side doesn't necessarily mean the kind of rip that had been made is necessarily healed. So it may give us places to go to, or at least stories to explore. It also means that I can feed into the game trains from the different cities that might be lost to give us different things that we need, right? And lay down different story beats. That reminds me, actually, on the list of events, what do they normally call them in games? Like, I'll just put Captain's Log, but just so I can remember the vague idea. But yeah, some of the events will be just kind of finding like, or as you're going through various places, you will find like Seven Gates. Was this an Enigma song? And yeah, I probably will look back and see if I can find where I made all of the mods gods, and I think I'm just going to bring that straight into this. For what they do, because again, that ties into the Avatar Gate and the reason why that exists in the first place, and why anybody first went into the Great Beyond. And again, that gives me another story point I can kind of drip in there to a game for anyone who's interested in it. I seem to remember LP being a skeleton that was on fire, very kind of Knight Rider, not Knight Rider, Ghost Rider-esque. No, he was the skeleton of David Hasselhoff who was set on fire. I did mean Knight Rider. Oh dear. I'm making Knight the god of ridiculousness. Because yeah, I feel like Knight would be the trickster, right? Did you ever read the book series where they separated elements into planes and had gates between? They split the world up into elements and the gates? No, I don't think so. That sounds like a kind of book series I would like, though, honestly. Oh, dear. So, yeah, this is spawned from the idea of the Avatar Gate for me, which is a short story which I want to turn into a longer short story at some point, which is about ascension. And that is very much inspired by Ultima 7, which has a character called the Avatar and also has moon gates. It all comes back to the Ultima series. For those that remember it. Not that many do, unfortunately. But yes, I do have to kind of remember that this is meant to be like a fairly quick and easy to play roguelike game, so you don't want to put a whole lot of lore into it, but I also kind of want it to be there. So if I need to use it, it's there, and I'm not just making it up at the time and possibly then contradicting myself. Which, you know, very easy to do in something like this. And then, yeah, I think having the reason to have gods is so God can give you blessings in a run. I think is interesting. Now, what blessings would then be? I don't know, and how that would relate to items or perks or whatever else we're going to have in place. Again, I don't know. But I think that works. And yeah, I think we'll go down the kind of Diablo idea of blessings, which will be kind of like one turn kind of things, rather than items which you keep for the run and perks which you keep forever. I think that'll be the separation of them. Nights is going to be about milk. I mean, if you're going to do a perk based around night, yes, it's going to involve lactation, right? I mean, that's just... I feel like that's just a given. Dear. Because, one of the other characters that I'm bringing into this from one of my old stories is the blacksmith. The blacksmith and the Avatar Gate always existed in the same world. I don't think I've ever released anything where I've said that before, but in my mind, the story of the blacksmith and the story of the Avatar Gate are one and the same. So there'll be no stream tomorrow, chat. I've got it's the only meeting we're doing for Project LRK this month because the producer's going on holiday after this. And it's normally between an hour to 2 hour meeting. They've scheduled 6 hours for tomorrow. It's going to be a long one. They've sent the agenda through. They want to go through. So I've put in. Hang on. I've now submitted 8 first draft episode scripts out of the 10 that I need to do. 6 have now been accepted, and there's 2 which are still going through the various committees before I can start doing second drafts. And then there's 2. One I've written I haven't sent out yet, and there's one that I haven't started the writing process on yet. And I think that gets me up to 10. I think I did my numbers right there. They want to extend it another 5 pages. No, they want to go through especially the first 2 episodes in detail with the bigger group. So I normally just work with the producer, and it's just doesn't make sense. Have I made any spelling errors? Have I, with the world that I'm building, contradicted myself? Like, it's all kind of more basic stuff. We're now getting into arguing with the suits because they're going to be doing focus sessions. They're going to kind of know what it is people want to see. So there's no doubt about it. They're going to want me to put in more sexy vampires because that's what everybody is loving right now. Werewolves are apparently very popular. How can I word this in a way that won't get me banned on Twitch? Semi-aggressive but consensual sexual encounters seem to be all the rage right now. Oh dear. Alpha males with a heart of gold. They've always got to have the heart of gold, right? Things really have not changed that much. Honestly, in terms of what appeals in TV, it's the only real difference at the moment is how you color it. And I know a lot of people in the industry try to pretend that I hate using the word woke, but it definitely does exist, and there are diversity things they all have to be aware of whenever you're doing this kind of thing. And like I've said to them, look, this is a fantasy world. Diversity is not a thing that we care about. It's a very diverse thing, and I don't really want to have to drag a lot of real world values into it if we can avoid it. But and also, so far, apart from and even then, the one main character and the kind of the character that drives the underlying story. In my mind, those are the only ones in my mind that I actually have given any kind of sex, gender / race to. Every other character, because again, I know I've been writing this for TV and not for anything else. Could be anyone. It's just about trying to get the best person. If it gets that far, touch wood, it'll be just about trying to get the best person and the best group we can get together with the best chemistry, right? I haven't assigned them anything like that. They got character traits and that's it. But yeah, and I know that's going to be some of it. Some of it is I have to go through the. I would have called it like HR onboarding, which I was hoping I was going to escape because I'm a consultant and not an employee. But no, apparently I do now have to go through the kind of HR sensitivity training. And side note, if it's as funny and worthless as the BBC's was about 10 years ago, it's going to be a complete waste of my time. So now I've got to do that tomorrow as well as part of the 6 hours. But yeah, I am, according to the agenda, it's mostly about going through the first 2 episodes. I think they kind of want a more final draft to come in for the first 2 episodes, because I think a lot of their decisions will be made on the first 2 episodes. Part of me is kind of hoping, touch wood, that they might order a pilot just based on the first 2 episodes. But that's probably wishful thinking at this stage. But yeah, that's what tomorrow is meant to be, according to the agenda. So the first hour is just me and the producer doing our normal stuff, and then you get a lot of other, like I say, normally it's just me and the producer. At one point, one meeting I had when we were moving from LRK to what we were on now, there was like 20, 30, 40 people on the call. This is going to be another. There's a lot of people on the call meeting, at least for some of it, which I'm also not looking forward to. But, you know, what you going to do? But yes, fantasy sex is very hot right now. They do the whole raise hand stuff. So no, the way they did it the last time when we had too many is it was taken into, a lot of them didn't talk, and I think we're told they weren't allowed to talk. They were just there to listen. And then it was very much turn based. Wasn't quite like passing the conch, not Animal Farm, the other one. But Lord of the Flies. But kind of that kind of idea. I believe this time they do have somebody running the meeting. I think they're expecting a lot of back and forth on this one. A lot of vigorous debate from me. I'm expecting some fights. I'm expecting some fights tomorrow. And I think they've got someone to kind of mediate in the middle. Oh, dear. You hate large meetings where people think they need to talk and should just be quiet? Were you allowed to dash for a bonus action? I hate large meetings where people feel they need to talk. Yeah. Like if you've got a point to make, fine, make it. If you've got nothing to add, or if you're just going to repeat what somebody else said, just don't. If you just want to say, I agree, so people can get an idea of who wants to go that way, fine. I don't then need 20 minutes of you just reiterating what has already been said. Just sit down and shut the fuck up. Like the need to talk to be present. Yeah. Gets on my nerves every time. Like if I've got nothing to say during a meeting, you will not hear my voice. Now, when we're having a meeting based on a project that I'm working on, it's going to be very unlikely that I will have nothing to say, but You mute and go back to work usually. The amount of times, so one of the places I used to work, if you were ever in a meeting, even if it was a phone meeting, you were meant to go to a conference room, right? Because the idea was because they wanted you to be present in the meeting, right? You could not take the meeting from your desk. That was one of the rules. I think I'd worked there for 2 days, had gone to 2 of these conference room meetings where I just started taking them from my desk because, again, it was like, okay, I need to listen to it, but I can still do work while I'm listening to you waffle on about bullshit. You're going to have an hour meeting. There's going to be 2 minutes of worthwhile conversation. I can also get shit done. And it turns out there are not a lot of people who... They might say something to you like, you're not meant to take meetings from your desk. But there are very few people who will follow up on something like that or give you a demerit. And honestly, if they started giving me demerits, I would have been starting to wear them like badges of honor. But they didn't really have that kind of atmosphere at that place. One place I worked did do the demerit system. Oh my God. It was like being at school. It was so fucking stupid. You hated the managers that called the meeting. They would clearly do work on other things and be like almost done and asked to repeat stuff. And I basically listened to the damn meeting you called. Oh yeah, if I was running the meeting, then yeah, that's completely different. But honestly, I would never run a meeting that had probably more than 3 people involved, excluding me. So 4 including me, because as soon as you go to like 4, 5, 6 people in a meeting, not everyone is contributing, and I don't see the point. And normally I would avoid meetings altogether and just go and talk to the person who was doing the work one-on-one. Because, it was just quicker and easier. One place I worked, they were shocked. So, like, someone was doing work and they would say, well, I'm having trouble. I don't know how to do this particular bit. And in this particular place, people were shocked that I would just pick up the phone on the desk I was on, phone the person who I knew how to do that, and just go, all right, very quickly, tell me how we do this. All right, great. Phone down. Right, I've asked my question. I've got my answer. I didn't need to call a meeting with all of us to work it out. I just work it out. We'll do it. We'll get the shit done, right? Oh dear. But yes, in today's words, a lot of people used to do shocked Pikachu face when I did stuff like that. I still don't understand why. All right. All right, so we haven't actually named any of the 7 great cities, but we are getting there. I got a much better idea of the kind of purpose they are fulfilling. But I think, I know this is a very early stop, especially when I'm not having a stream tomorrow, but I think I am going to stop there because I honestly feel like I need to go and throw up in a bucket. Oh, I'll be honest. Thanks for watching. Like I say, no stream tomorrow, but hopefully I'll be back on Friday and feeling a little bit better. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all when I see you all. Bye.